Hey everyone, Brian and Ripple here with DIY Outdoor Life. Today's video we're going to give you a little update on the real star of the show, Ripple, who's feeling a little under the weather, and explain what's going on, how it relates to the channel. And I want to throw in a couple little factoids about what I learned about the type of injury that Ripple got, because I know a lot of you have pets, and I learned an awful lot in the last week about mechanical injuries in dogs. So a little bit of an unusual video. It's a little bit of an unusual winter. So let's get into this. So folks, a couple weeks ago, Ripple experienced a tear in her ACL. In dogs, they call it a CCL, but it's actually the exact same ligament, an anterior cruciate ligament that people have. A dog's knee anatomically is almost identical to a human knee. They're a quadruped, they walk on all fours, so it operates at a little different angle, but it's the same thing. They have a kneecap, the same bones, same ligaments, etc. It's a hinge joint, like your knuckle on your finger. It's a little bit different than something like your shoulder that can rotate and move on different planes. And before I talked about campers on a YouTube channel, I have a master's degree in kinesiology. I worked in teaching and sports and athletics, and I'm very familiar with this injury in humans. What I was shocked with is how common it actually is in dogs. I believe it's the most common anatomical injury that dogs get. So having had pets my whole life, my family had pets growing up, I was so shocked when Ripple got this surgery, and then all of a sudden everyone comes out of the woodwork. My dog had that same thing. My brother's dog had the same thing. So please leave me a comment if you've had a pet that's had a CCL or an ACL tear. Ripple's was on her back leg, and it did need surgery. So she's a little sedated. She's recovering really well. She wanted to say hello to everyone. And like I said, I figured I'd go over a couple things and hopefully save somebody some of the stress and problems that we've been going through in our effort to care for Ripple at this time. So she's moving around here a little bit, but I want to explain what goes on. So the knee bends like this. The ligaments are what hold that joint and limit its movement to just be a hinge joint. When the knee bends and slides forward, that's when you tear that ligament. Ligaments connect bone to bone. Now, the surgeon who worked on Ripple said almost all of these surgeries, they're doing 5 or 6 a day, and I live in a rural area, are skewed to the winter time. They almost all happen, hey, good girl, in the winter. The dog is running on the ice, goes to slide, and that's what puts that pressure on the knee that causes that tear. Now, Ripple's a bit of a baby. I couldn't even tell there was something wrong. She yipped a little bit, picked her leg up, but she immediately put it right back down. It looked like she stepped on something. She played, she went on hikes. There was very, very little indication that she was hurt that bad. It actually wasn't until weeks later, when she would get up in the morning, you could see that she would hold the leg up, that we decided to go to the vet. The vet took an x-ray, saw that the CCL or ACL, we'll use those interchangeably, was torn. Now, here's where I might be able to save some of you a little bit of a problem here. The vet actually gave us exercises to do, told her to rest the dog, and that she should just go back to normal activity. She did say that nearly 100% of the time, the dog will completely finish tearing that ligament. There was a partial tear at the time. Now, perhaps some of you, like me, would have just went home and accepted that at face value. It was actually Lucia who was doing some Google work and decided we were going to bring her to a specialist. That is outdated information. For 20 years, they've been handling this different than they did in the early 2000s, 90s. It is now recommended that you get this operation immediately. The reason why is that partial tear allows a lot more movement. It's like a mortar and pestle. It causes immediate arthritis. So when the tendon, or ligament rather, does tear, now the dog has to deal with severe arthritis and the recovery from this injury. The specialist said this was not uncommon, that they got to get the word out to a lot of these local vets that that is not the best course of action. You should never wait if your dog has a partial tear. So we went under the knife. There's 2 different surgeries that they do. We won't bore you with the details, but she had a pretty invasive surgery. They actually reshaped the joint, put a little piece of metal in there. She's got a bionic knee right now. Out the door, this is going to cost us about $8,000, which is a lot of camping and outdoor gear. But obviously you do anything for your pet. And Lucy and I feel fortunate to be able to do this. And look at her. It's been 3 days. She's a little groggy from the meds, but she's on the mend. So for those of you who don't care about pet injuries, I'm sorry to take time to do a video like this, but it does relate to the channel. There's an 8-week kennel period. She can't be up and around and doing anything without our assistance. It was -8 degrees here yesterday. It was like -12 or 13 overnight. We are fully invested in the rehabilitation of Ripple right now, but I do have a lot more time at the computer. So don't worry about it. I have about 20 videos that I've been too lazy to edit. I'm going to try to make the best of this situation and show you guys all of these cool camping trips that we went on that I never got around to editing. So Ripple wanted to say hello. Thank you guys so much. You guys are the most amazing people in the world. I don't know how some of you found out about this, but I was getting emails, so I figured I'd hop on and let you know that she is doing great. So I hope to see you guys soon. Stay tuned for all of the amazing videos that we're putting out. I'll give you very short updates. I won't bore you again like this video, but here she is, and I appreciate it. Take care, guys. I will see you next time.